My name is Marc Bravo. I'm a sound recording artist and creative director. And I want you to go check out my first reality TV show, Creative House, DMV, on YouTube. Go check it out and let me know what you think.
Whenever I feel a mess, please don't let me forget that you calm me down. Whenever I feel stressed, whenever I feel a mess, please don't let me forget that.
It ain't feature us. You ain't give enough. Run up in his house, he gon' give it up.
We live show 5 I'm Simone.
She the surfer.
I'm Zeta Black.
And I'm Marc Bravo.
And we are the collective. Yes, sir.
So today we have Marc Bravo. As you can see, our very first interview with him. So we're going to talk about him, his music, and his project Creative House. So we're excited.
This is a little change of speed. You know, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
You've been doing a lot. You know, what's been? Oh, that's me. That's an important call. But what's been going on? You know, let us know what you got in the works.
Okay, so as most of you may know, for those who don't, we just dropped Creative House Season 1. It's a reality TV show that we made for artists, put them on a mansion, gave them everything they need as far as videographers, photographers, even a chef so they didn't have to leave the house. And we dropped that about 1 month ago. We've already gotten over 10,000 views, so it's going really well. And now we're about to go on tour so we can go to each city. Because much as I like to make fans online, I like to make fans in person as well. So definitely want to make sure I do that on this tour. And so those are the couple things I'm working on. I also have a big announcement that I'm making on Monday, but I'm opening up for a really dope artist for a really dope record label. That's going to be on April 28th on the tour date in Florida. So, yeah.
Okay, I love that.
Awesome.
How do you feel like it's being received, like your project, Creative House?
Oh, it's been amazing. It's it's overwhelming in a sense because I've gotten a lot of people from a lot of different levels in the industry reaching out, telling me how much they love the show and they love the idea and appreciate the hustle of what I'm doing. So yeah, everything is going very well, and all the critiques on how we can make the show better have been very accurate. You know, it's things I've mostly thought of, but people are coming and make sure and reassure me that I know that I do that better next season. So I really love that feedback. So yeah, everyone.
So you plan to have a season 2?
Oh yeah, season 2.
Okay.
Season 3 is where I have other plans to do something with it, but that's down the road.
Gotcha.
Season 1 right now.
It's nice to see you got a vision with it. So for real, like, what's it like working with all those artists at once? Because I imagine it's a bunch of personalities. So.
Yeah, it's great. So we had an audition process, and we got to meet the artists as we went, and it was, we expected some type of drama in the show. Yeah, for sure. But there was no drama at all in the show. And
really?
Everyone, there was no drama. Everyone was there just ready to show love, ready to learn, ready to be a sponge, ready to help out whoever and just enjoy their time. So working with the artists, I would say during the show was completely easy. Now, once everybody got home and got back into their regular lifestyle and we trying to tour and have cookouts and make sure everybody comes to events, that's a little tricky. So, it helps me definitely build my leadership in a sense. So it's been very fruitful in terms of that. And it's just fun though. All in all, it's been fun just having a collective of artists I could trust, I can go places with and make memories with. And even if people, they don't make it big, they can always say they were a part of Creative House.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I did see, so here's my prediction.
Okay.
Right? I don't have an inside scoop. I ain't seen no more of it. But, I noticed certain things and how people move. So my bet is going to be Galaxy.
Huh.
That's my
who
bet.
Won?
Mm-hmm.
I like this question.
That's my bet.
I haven't had this. Okay.
So, what was your process on determining a winner? Because art is so, of a wide scope thing. How did you determine, this is who we want?
So that's a great question, and I always like to judge other people's perspectives, not just mine. So what we did, I had no clue who the judges were really going to be, and when it got close to the show, that's one of the only things I forgot to do was pick judges. I had everything there but the judges, and I was like, how could we forget that? And then it
That's
came.
where Pundit comes in.
And then it came to me a week before we were filming the show when I was actually reaching out to a few judges that I should have each resource in the house as the judges because they see things that I'm not seeing. The photographer could see who took the best pictures. The studio, the engineer, he could see who was recording the best songs. So as everyone came together at the end after they worked with each artist, I was able to get everyone put their perspectives on the table, and it made it a lot easier for us to like digest and funnel it into who a winner was. But we tried to pick the winner for a good 10 hours straight. Like we were down there for a good minute. We had like 4 to 5 different winners at one point, and then we finally settled on one because it just made the most sense.
Galaxy.
That's his bet. Okay. And then I'll get back to you on that.
I'm rewatching. You know how to get back to me. I'm rewatching.
Bet.
So what was like for the first day of them all coming together?
Cool. So day one, a lot of us drove up there. So we got up there a little early. We prepared the house. We got gift baskets for everyone and kind of just mapped out and made an itinerary. And then later on, we had a shuttle bring everyone from, it was like the Wawa and Bowie. They brought everyone, about like 6 or 7 artists. Yep. Yeah, yep. So, yeah, they brought them. Well, no. This one, it was like the one on Upper Marlboro and Crane Highway. Yeah. So they came from that one, and that's when they pulled up on the shuttle. I didn't know how that was going to go, but I do social media for the shuttle company. So he said he'll just, he won't pay me that month, and then he'll do that for me. So it's cool, to have, be able to do trade-offs now. So, he pulled up with the artists. Everybody came, and then the first thing, everybody was hungry. So we went straight to the grocery store, and, that's episode 2. We went to the grocery store, and the artists got back home, and everybody just got right to it. Got to creating, the chef got to cooking, engineer got to engineer. Everybody got to what they were doing really quick to the point the studio was already booked out. Everyone booked out their sessions already within that first night. So if you didn't get it, some people got together real late. But it was amazing meeting them that first day. For sure.
Now you did have an artist from Florida.
Yes.
How did she come about? Because at first it was everybody from DMV, and then you just, no offense, but then you just got this blue-haired girl from Florida that's just so odd.
Yep.
Why reach out to all the way to Florida?
That's a great question. So Empower, she reached out to me, and she's been reached out to me for about a few months before then, and I thought her work was really dope. And in Tampa, she's in a sense blackballed a little bit because of a situation that happened a few years ago I'm not going to speak on. But she's really talented, and people in Tampa, not only did that situation happen, but they don't really receive her style in a good way. They take her as a joke. So she was coming from the DMV back and forth, and she was looking for a new home. And I feel, once we get to this age now, once we get to this age now, you can kind of go pick where you're from. Because you're not once you're in your 40s and stuff and people ask you where you're from, it's kind of where you spent your adulthood. You didn't really have a choice as a child. So I wanted to be a part to help her bridge that gap to actually being here, being in the industry, going to the different shows. And she did her rounds. She went everywhere I went. So
that's a huge move.
Yeah, for sure. So she met everyone I did, and she'll now actually be coming down here in June to stay for the summer. We got her a job up here, finding her a place to stay right now. But so hopefully after the summer she can stay for a longer period of time because she really finds her peace here.
That's awesome, actually.
Thank you.
That you're willing to even help them besides from the show with their actual life in this.
Yeah, no problem. Especially Black women. I feel it's my duty to help Black women for sure whenever I can. So
I'm not gonna lie to you. I do feel like she has a niche audience, right? And then because I listen to every single artist because I did research. So I listen to every single artist and listen to their style.
Nice, I appreciate
and she has a really different style, so welcoming her is going to be different from the DMV in general. Yep. But you have a lot of different sounds there in Creative House. Why those sounds? Because the DMV, for people who don't know, it's a lot of runs with rap. But you didn't choose just rap artists. You chose, I think you only have 2 rap artists.
Right.
So why did you space it out
it's
like
that? Because everyone raps, but I would say for me, I like to look 10 years of where the industry is going. And these were the artists that I wanted to contribute to my show to represent the new sound of what music is moving to, what hip-hop is moving to. So a lot of people may pick what they know is popular, but I pick what I feel like is going to be popular 3 years from now. So with the foresight that I've been gifted, I decided, you know, to exercise that gift with opportunities like Creative House and to pick different artists where I know they may not be popular now, but I know someone's gonna look back and like, wow, how did he see what Empower was gonna be in 2025, but now type shit. So yeah, that's what I like to do. So yeah, that's where that comes from. Is each sound I think will be the next sound of their lane that you
I love
put them
it.
in. Mm-hmm.
So like you're mentioning foresight and everything like that, and I'm seeing you're doing a lot with other people. What is your own content looking like? Are you feeling like you helping them is impeding that, or is just this your focus right now?
So it's actually a piece of the puzzle. So my foresight will, with everything that I'm doing now, it's an expression of love and an expression of my ode to the DMV for, you know, bringing me to the artist that I am today. You know, a lot of people feel like they're too big for their city, so they move out. But I want to kind of make my city big a little bit before I leave. So I want to do that, and with that, y'all will see how it's gonna propel me into, you know, still being my own artist, but creating different lanes that other artists can take advantage of and have fun. It's not many fun things you can do as an artist in the DMV. Everything is so serious. So yeah, I like to just have fun.
You about to be a successful Wale. You tried it and failed. So.
No, I don't want to spend too much time on Creative House.
Uh-huh.
So I guess this is my last question. You guys you filmed and then you held it for about a year, almost about a year. Why was it that long of a stretch?
So when we first filmed it, I had the idea for the show in January. We filmed it by April, and we wanted to come out with it in June. Before we could process everything we were really doing, we already had dates when we were going to drop it. And something like that has to be really, really natural and go at a pace where it's treated right so that it would be received well. We didn't want to drop the show in June and then now no one will be talking about it because it was such a fast process. So with the show, and the original reason is I was submitting it to my label. And I was submitting it like a good 10 times. Each time I sent it, he was like, nah, that's not it. I would lose attention in like 5 minutes. Send it to him again, he'd be like, nah, this isn't it. You can change that, you can change that. So about the 10th time where I sent it to him, he was finally like, this is it, and now I trust y'all with the rest. But that first time taking him to get the first yes, it was already June. It already had been 2 months. So I'm like, okay, now I know that I need to put at least a month or two's work into each episode.
Gotcha. But that was a good call, though. Because you guys are telling a really good story. And you guys are piecing it together where it should come together really smooth.
For sure. And it even, because we had to realize now this is going to take a longer time to come out, we're like, how can we keep people's attention? So at that point, all of our minds were working where we started throwing the cookouts, started throwing parties, started having, that's when we went on our first tour. So by the time Creative House was coming out, every artist was already kind of known in the area a little bit. So it actually worked out a lot better, and people genuinely wanted to see what we worked on. What the fuck took us a year? Yep.
Well, speaking of labels, I did my research, correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that you were, I saw from a video, that you were signed to a label in Australia at the age of 18.
I got a record deal offer from a label in Australia at 18, but when I sent it back to them with the terms I wanted to include in it, that's when they ghosted me. So we were literally at the point of where I was supposed to sign. He said, change anything you want, but he didn't think I would actually change anything. So when I sent it back after viewing my attorney, a couple things I wanted to change, he ghosted me. And I was in touch with all the artists on the label, but could never get in touch with him again. So I know I'll see him at one point in life.
Yeah.
You know, we'll talk about that.
Don't regret it.
Exactly.
Right, I was saying, all the big stuff you're doing, he's the one that messed up.
Right, yeah. So, you know, it's all good though. But yes, that's exactly it. Appreciate the research.
So your artistry itself, coming from, you started young. So what do you think evolved?
What evolved was experience, in a sense. Like I was the young kid in the studio when Fame, Reek, and Flock were still like recording at the studios in Bowie. Like I was the young dude in the room. I was in private school. I wasn't really like, you know, living like everybody else in there, but they knew I could rap, and I had this like spirit in me that, you know, it just made everyone fall in love with. So by my end of my time with them, like everything was just, the vibe was just going so well that I saw my star potential in a sense. So then I was touring at a really young age, so I saw how tours are put together. So that's why I'm able to kind of put them together so quickly, is because I saw that process at such a young age. And I thought I was going to be a child star, like 10, 11 years old. Like my mom's taking me to talent shows in middle school, and I'm thinking I'm going to be the one.
Yeah,
but
he the next Bow Wow.
Yeah, literally, that's what I wanted to be. So but being in the industry for 12 years now has, put me into a realm where I've developed so many abilities, and I've developed so many connections and relationships that it's just inevitable that I kind of start to get over that hump now. Stuck with it for so long.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. By the way, to your last question too, I'm now signed with AMG, Alta Music Group. That's the management label that I'm with.
No, hey, congrats on that.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So, like, with all this experience, do you feel like that's what makes you such a good leader?
Yes, that's a big part of it. Because people have to know in a sense where they're coming from in order to know where they're going. So with everything I've learned, I've learned the 360 of it. Like everything's a pattern. So I study patterns a lot. So I've learned how the pattern of the industry works. So with that, I can kind of let other people in with my insight, and with all the tools they bring to the table, there's really no way you can lose at that point.
So your first showing here, obviously I would imagine not the way that you expect it to be received. It was, you had Allure. You sent in Allure. And yeah, what did you watch?
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you think did?
Spoken music is not a beat.
Advocate.
It's a mellow.
But I can say nothing was on topic.
Yeah, he started talking about smoking.
Yeah.
And then he went to
Shorty got my number.
Right.
Like,
Don't blow me up every day.
So
his mama.
So the vibe I get from it, because I'm thinking LA, I'm thinking maybe this is like something you could cruise to. That's why it's called Cascade, maybe.
The beat's nice, so yeah.
You could cruise to it. Cascade, roller skate, cruise. I don't know for sure.
Are we listening to the same thing?
I'm just saying.
Hey.
I'm just saying.
You cannot. If I'm riding down the highway late at night, I listen to this. I would skip it so fast.
I just think if we knew the definition of Cascade.
Yes, please take us through.
Yeah, I walk us through that.
Please take us
So,
through.
and I have to refresh myself, but it's in a sense a flow of water.
Okay, yeah, I bet he was looking at that like, y'all niggas is dumb. Because we was definitely like, it don't go with, because we was thinking Cascade as far as
Exactly,
skating.
but they named the skating rink after the word Cascade because of the vibe that Cascade brought.
Gotcha.
So that's in a sense, I was like, I wish, because the song, you could critique like the song on how it sounds, but then like the meaning behind it, I was like, then it kind of deflated the meaning in it because they didn't know the word.
We definitely missed it with that one.
Yeah, it's all good though.
We missed.
That was way off the mark.
Yeah, it's all good though, and that's kind of why I like that. I always run into anyone where like if there's any bump in the road, I know I'll see people.
So now the up and I've been down. Now that makes sense. Now we know why. But okay, so now we're on the music side, right? You make what I call smokers music. To me, you make smokers music. What zone do you have to be in order to create?
I like to put myself in a new atmosphere. I would say I make, in a sense, not smokers, but black love, and not even in terms of romance, but like being able to love yourself, love the people around you, love your atmosphere, love your smoking, whatever you love. That's the energy that comes off of my music.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of love, I did some more research. I'll get you in trouble if I say this, but I know I heard you say I got to see one of my girlfriends. So I'm assuming you're like in a poly relationship.
Yes, polyamorous.
So how is that going for you?
It's going really well. So I have my one girlfriend, Keys, for 5 years. Met her in college, and then our girlfriend that we got together, her name is Rana, and she lives in Pittsburgh. And Keys is originally from Pittsburgh, so that's kind of how everything connected. But yeah, everything's been going well. It's actually the healthiest relationship I've been in.
How does a long distance poly work?
You said go to Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh?
Yeah, that's where you from? a second girlfriend? Are you trying I'm just trying to see something.
That's funny, yo.
How does that work though? Because it's like so it's long distance. How does that all hold
Yeah,
together?
one is long distance. So like their 1 year anniversary is next week. So my girlfriend that lives here, she's going up to see Rhonda to spend her time with her. And then my anniversary with Rhonda is going to be on May 11th. So I go up there. So we'll take turns going up there. She'll come here, which is how we met her. She came down one weekend, and it was last Christmas, and she asked us this place we were at for dinner, and we told her what it was. And when she came here, we were like, we'll take you out and we'll show you everything.
What's up, baby? Want to go to dinner?
I feel that. And we had no clue what it was going to, but we were already in an open relationship. Like, we had threesomes, so everything just kind of gelled, and we were in a state where we were looking for something more serious since we were out of college, and she just happened to fit everything perfectly.
It seems like everything just moves organically for you, or everything comes organic. I don't know your journey, so I'm not going to say you don't go through hardships, but it seems like things go through organically with you. Even the relationships that you form through the industry form organically. So how do you get those, organic relationships to come about? Because it's not easy in the industry that you're in.
So you take time, for one, and you have to know what you're looking for one. So and it's gonna take time. So you're gonna get maybe like 20 no's before you get the yes. Okay. But if you know if exactly what you're looking for is destined for you, and you can feel if something's gonna happen versus, and it's just a lot of work that's gonna have to be done versus something that's not for you. So with me, when I kind of follow the North Star, where I know where something's gonna be for me, and I don't even question it. I just like, okay, this is what I'm gonna have to do now. That's how Creative House came about. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm finna have to do now. So I'm cool to reroute to any direction. And I'm really strong with my intuition, where I know if it's something, when it's my future speaking to me versus something that just doesn't make sense at all.
Right.
I appreciate it.
Well, our producer's telling us to close out, so.
All right, well, they can hold on. You got a couple more questions.
Okay.
And I would say back to your question too about, because I didn't fully answer about the atmosphere, but like for each album, I like to go to different places, kind of make an adventure. Like I just came back from Richmond. I met with like my sugar mama. I met with a couple of my friends out there, and from those experiences, I can now have inspiration to make music. So I like to take in a lot of different sounds, a lot of different energies, and you'll never really have writer's block if you do that.
Okay.
He tried to slap that sugar mama in there. Y'all saw that.
Marc Bravo, he's a mentor. About to be my mentor.
Facts. Sugar mamas.
Ladies,
you can help me
man.
get this shit.
No, I do want to ask about, like, as far as along with the artistry, right? And how do you decide who belongs on what track? Like, how do your features come about? Because it's not easy getting on the Marc Bravo track, because he brings a certain type of energy that, the artist that he may mess with, bring a street industry or like, not your exact energy. I haven't found an artist that's exactly like Marc Bravo. So how do you go about features?
That's a great question too. It's really not me. Like I said, I kind of follow the North Star, and I like realize what I did later on. Like if something just comes to me, like I'll be recording a song and think who should I get on it, and then I'll hop on Instagram and the perfect person will be right there. And like rather than scroll and look further, I'm like, okay, that's the sign. I'll take that and go with that. So I haven't even really made too many songs with the Creative House artists. Probably made like 3 songs with them like over the year.
One of them were who? Galaxy.
Have I made a song with Galaxy?
I believe so. I think she posted something recently.
Oh, so I know they all were in his video.
I actually don't think.
That must have been.
I don't think I made a song with really. I made a song with Apo. I've made a song with Rod Deshawn and Baby she's not in season 1. She gonna be in season 2. She don't know yet.
It might have been a video then.
I would say he did a video with all them in the house. It was like Lil Saint.
Episode 6. That's what that was.
Oh, Lil Saint. Okay, let's go to Lil Saint. Hey, producers, 5 minutes. Put me on 5 minutes time, man. Lil Saint, by far your funnest song to me.
Okay, I like that.
Why did you choose that one to be your? That was your single. So
for Lower 2.0, yes. It was a fun song. it was fun, and it described You Got Served in a sense is where I got the idea from Lil Saint Rico. Like he spent his life literally just showing love to everyone in there, and you know he got crucified by the streets in that movie. But I like what he represented. Like his character was just showing love the whole time. So that's where Lil Saint came from, and it's just telling people to be the best version of themselves. So that's why they want to be like me is in the song where you can be the best version of you. So yeah, and then I knew when I went to Creative House that Lil Saint would be giving me the opportunity to do a You Got Served themed video where we're both like crews are dancing back and forth, and that would be the perfect environment to do it, and we'll like act like it's a challenge in the show in a sense. So it became a challenge in the show where to see how much artists will participate, because every part was a part of how we decided who the winner was going to be. So just even in the music video, you can kind of see certain people giving different energy in the music video from beginning to end, where we were like, okay, like this is the person.
Yeah, because y'all definitely got me in the trailer. I really thought they was fighting in there. I was like, ooh, drama.
Yeah, we had to do things like that because there was no drama in the show. So it was just like, just to bring that extra energy that people love.
Until I'm messy, huh?
Yeah, a lot of people gravitated to that part. So, you know, certain things have to be the piece of a puzzle.
I love it.
Yeah.
So like, I see like you're big on like energies and just feeling it. So like, I'm trying to think of how to put it. Like, what is your radar? How does that work?
In terms of like my criteria?
Yeah,
maybe?
like, cause it's like I understand like you got to follow an energy. Like, what exactly are you looking for in that energy?
It's looking for me. Yeah.
Oh,
like,
so you're a receiver per se then.
Yeah, in a sense, like it has to. When something makes sense, it just makes sense. So I'm not even like out looking for it, but it'll find me one day, and I'm just like, okay, this is it. I just know to not ignore it when it comes to me. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Lastly, I see that you're really intuitive to the earth.
I like that word, intuitive.
Like so much that you got earth tattoo. So why that? Like what made you center yourself to the point where? Because it seems like you're always in a centered stage.
I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but we have superpowers. We all have superpowers, especially those that are of Earth. So when you reach your full potential, in a sense of what people would idealistically put your full potential at, in terms of like your journey of self, then you'll automatically get the things that are meant for you. And so being of Earth and showing love and receiving love was something that I felt like was me. So showing love, receiving love, having fun, and just being genuine. So like those are the things that are in my brand. Taking risk. That's what High Roll is all about. So that's what I've learned, that how I can inspire people. That's how I've naturally inspired people my whole life. So that's what I decided was going to be my brand, because I don't want to have to build up a reputation that I have to keep as a reputation. I want it to be myself at all times. I can go to any studio. I don't have to have the same two people with me as my identity, or I don't have to wear the same thing as my identity. I can just go as myself, and people gonna like what I'm doing because they like me.
I like that.
Yeah.
They still telling us to shut up?
Yeah, stay
All right.
really
I like
hard.
it. We was getting good when y'all said to cut it, so yeah, I appreciate the extra time.
I was just gonna ask one more question, but if our producers wants to cut it.
Oh, go ahead.
From you, like your you said you have superpowers. You think did you like? Nah, forget it. My brain's all over the place now. Just cut it.
Well, what's that?
No, I was just gonna say, did from like base were your parents religious, or that so you kind of decided this on your own, or you just
Or was he
just-
born into it,
Yeah.
or was he?
Well, yeah, my parents are religious. My middle name is Christian, actually.
Yeah.
So I've always found being Christ-like, when people throw that around, I found that an interesting concept, and I don't even do it in a religious way, but I like to be Christ-like. I think he embodied love to a T out of probably any human in the history of humans that we have documented, for sure. So I just always found that something I wanted to embody.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
That was it. Any more questions, Zay?
We might have to do a part two.
Oh,
I got more stuff to talk
the
about.
thing is, when you were I was gonna cut out and say I think we're gonna do a part two, but then you're like, no, we gotta keep on going. I was like, well,
we
producers
can't-
fussing at
I
us.
can't
They're
guarantee
fussing
a
at us.
part two because we only got them for now. So, but yeah, this is a really good conversation. We can go deeper, but you know, we got people
Our producers really like fussing at us.
All right, that's
They're
cool.
using my stuff too over there.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so I'm Simone,
I'm C the Surfer.
I'm Zay the Black.
And I'm Marc Bravo.
and you've heard all about his journey and who he is, and thanks for coming.
Galaxy. Come on, dog.